today, on the occasion of 6th International Conference, we have a very unique guest speaker with us, Honorable Dr. Ameer sir from India. And he is a consultant behavior therapist and has a expertise in the mental health and the psychology field. Today, he is going to enlighten us on a very relevant and important topic, that is mental health and pursuit of meaningful relationships. So, not taking too much time, now I would like to request our honorable guest to kindly proceed today's session. Sir, please.
Okay. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Good evening, everyone. I am Ameer, Cheriyandeelakath from Kannur, Kerala State, India. So I have been doing some help to mental health professions for the last 20 years. Basically, I'm a teacher and I have trained to manage neurodiverse children also. So today's session, mental health and the pursuit of meaningful relationships. Good evening. We often talk about health in terms of fitness trackers, calorie counts, and blood pressure. But there is a quieter, more profound layer of health, one that is fundamental to our survival, the health of our human connections. From the moment we enter the world, we are dependent on others. This is not just a comfort, it is primal, biological imperative. We are inherently social creatures, wired for belonging, cooperation, and community. The opposite of connection, isolation, is consistently cited as one of the most detrimental factors to human well being. To understand this universal need, think about the simple scenario. Imagine you are standing in a crowded, noisy railway station waiting. You are surrounded by hundreds of people, yet you feel completely alone. You are stressed, maybe worried about a delayed train, or perhaps just having a profoundly difficult week. In that moment of overwhelming noise and of solitude, your phone buzzes. It is just a simple text message from a friend, a family member, or a partner, and all it says is, thinking of you, you got this. That single, genuine, and unsolicited act of recognition, that tiny bridge of shared humanity, changes everything. It doesn't solve the problem, but it grounds you. It reminds you that you are seen, valued, and not an island. That feeling, that moment of relief, is the nexus where mental health and meaningful relationship intersect. Today, we are exploring this powerful and often undervalued connection, how the conscious, dedicated pursuit of deep, supportive bonds is not merely a social bonus, but the critical foundation for sustainable psychological well being. Over the next hour, we will more beyond surface level networking to discuss how to cultivate truly meaningful bonds that nourish the mind and the soul. We are all wired for connection. This is not just a pleasant notion, it's a fundamental aspect of our biology and our psychology. From the very first moment of our lives, we seek the comfort of a caregiver's touch. As we grow, our identities are shaped by our friends, our families, and our communities. We tell stories, we share laughter, and we lean on each other during our darkest hours. This need for belonging, for being seen and understood by others, is as essential to our survival as food, water, and shelter. Yet, in our modern world, meaningful connection can feel harder than ever to find. We are more connected through technology than at any other times in history. Yet, rates of loneliness and isolation are on the rise. Today, we are going to explore this paradox. We will delve into how our mental health is directly shaped by the quality of relationships, and most importantly, how we can intentionally pursue and nurture the kind of connection that help us thrive. Mental health, a state of well-being. WHO define mental health, a state of successful performance of mental function resulting in productive activities, fulfilling relationships with other people, and the ability to adapt to change and cope with adversity. Mental health is the springboard of thinking and communication skills, learning, emotional growth, resilience, and self. In short, mental health has three important things. It is not just about individual well being, it is about our ability to fulfill this fundamental need for connection. A state of well being in which the individual realizes his abilities. First one. The second, cope with the normal stresses of life, the challenges of life fruitfully and productively. The third, most important, to make able to make contributions to his or her community. This is really what mental health is. When individual do not have a positive environment or a significant relationships, the individual may show depression and failure to thrive. That is the relationship, the connection. It is a two-way street. Mental health and relationships. It is a two-way street. Reciprocal relationships. Our mental health impacts our relationships, and our relationships impact our mental health. I have already given a simple scenario waiting in the railway station or train, feeling lonely. Still, people are around, but feeling lonely. Get a message, we get grounded. Mental health impacts relationship. How? Behavior. A person with a social anxiety. Just to imagine, a person with a social anxiety must avoid social gatherings, leading their friends to feel that they are being intentionally excluded or that their invitations are not valued. This can cause a strain on the friendship and lead to emotional distance. Another example, an individual experiencing a depressive episode may lack the energy or motivation to participate in a shared hobbies of conversations. Their partner might interpret this as a lack of interest in the relationship, leading to a feeling of loneliness and rejection. Mental health impacts a relationship. Two examples I have already given. How relationships impact mental health. One example, a person who has a strong supportive network of friends feels comfortable sharing their problems. When they go through a stressful event, they have people to lead on, friends, which helps to reduce their cortisol, stress hormone levels, and prevents feeling of isolation from developing into anxiety. Another example, being in a toxic relationship with a constant criticism and a lack of emotional support can severely erode a person's self-esteem. Over time, this can contribute to the development of symptoms of depression and anxiety. Relationship impact mental health impact relationship, mental health impact relationship. Mental health conditions like anxiety or depression can make it difficult to communicate openly and honestly. It creates problem. Emotional regulation. Struggles with emotional regulation can lead to conflict and emotional distance. Challenges with the trust and a lack of emotional energy can affect intimacy. So mental health impacts relationship, both positive mental well-being, fulfilling relationship. Fulfilling relationship, positive mental health. Mental health impacts provides concrete example. Anxiety, anxious overthinking can lead to avoidance of conflict. Depression can lead to withdrawal from loved ones. Then relationship, the quality of connection. Single supportive relationship can be a big heal to anxiety and depression. Then why? Why we seek a relationship? So meaningful relationship is beyond social media connection. It is not about the number of friends, but the quality of the bond. So it has reciprocity, give and take dynamics from both individuals feel supported. Emotional availability is there, being present and attuned to each other's needs. Mutual respect and trust, the foundation of safety and honesty. That is what we always get from meaningful relationship. Shared vulnerability, the ability to be open and authentic without fear of judgment. Then encouragement and growth, relationship that help both individuals thrive. You just imagine the modern day perception of relationship being tied to social media. How we have tea, coffee with friends. We don't know who are there. But on social media, we have tea with them, coffee with them, laugh with them, talk with them, enjoy with them. But they are on social media. But we have people around us in our home, in our classroom, in our professional life. But we like to have tea with friends who are where they are, we don't know. But still, social media, we have it. So define what is meaningful relationship. It means in a relational context, it is something else. So providing a relatable and a shared vulnerability, talk about the courage and admit mistakes to a partner or friend. It is what we call productive, meaningful relationship. Then why we seek a relationship? From the moment we enter the world, we are dependent on others. This is not just for comfort. We are inherently social creatures, wired for belonging, cooperation, and community. The opposite of connection, isolation, is constantly cited as one of the most detrimental factors to human well-being. This necessity of relationship is rooted deeply in our biology and psychology, resting on our four essential pillars: survival and attachment. Think of the most basic human sound. Infants cry. It is signal designed not just to express distress, but to activate response. When we listen or when we hear the infant's cry, we immediately attend, respond to that cry, guaranteeing safety and sustenance. So our survival has always literally depended on being noticed and cared for, just like infant's cry. The second one, physiological regulation. Consider a stressful situation, like waiting for a critical medical result. When you are able to reach out and hold a loved one's hand, or even just hear their calm, reassuring voice, your heart rate slows down, your stress hormones decrease. Our relationships are quite literally a form of natural anxiety management. Physiological regulation only with at least a notice or just a touch from our loved ones regulate our physiological abnormalities like BP, heartbeat, anxiety, physiological regulation. Then sensory and brain development, third one. Our brains are not pre-wired for complex thought. They are built through interactions. A universal example is learning to speak or read. No child learns a language in isolation. The very complexity of our thought and communication relies on the back and forth feedback and modeling provided by others. If we just call our children, hey, come here, he immediately copied that and he said, hello, come here. So how a child, a newborn, learn this language, sensory and brain development through interactions, need connections, need relationships. The fourth one, exploration with confidence. Imagine a toddler playing in a new environment. They run off to explore, to discover, and to test boundaries. But every few steps, they glance back to ensure their parent is still there, their secure base. You just imagine you are taking your children to your friend's house, friend's house. You just leave him to play. He run off to play. test boundaries, but every few steps he look back to you that ensure there you are there. You are their secure base. Am I right? This is exploration with confidence. Meaningful relationships provide us as adults with that same confidence, the knowledge that we have a safe place to return to, which empowers us to take risks, pursue goals, and grow. When our children do some performance on the stage, if we sit as an audience in that audience place, when he see us watching wonderfully with the wonderment in our eyes and we are watching him, he get confidence to perform his level best. If we are not there, if we have frowning on our face, they lose confidence, become underperformer. We know how a connection, a relationship give a confidence and secure base to perform to our children. To understand this human universal need on a human level, think about the first simple scenario that I have just given, a railway station scene. How our identities are shaped through relationship, the real base of mental health. Beyond these fundamental needs, our relationships also serve as the primary forge for our identity. The very person we believe ourselves to be, this shaping happens through family and early childhood. The simple act of receiving a nickname from parent, that name given with affection, becomes an internalized part of how we see ourselves, a symbol of belonging and an early definition of our self-worth. Education and peers. Think of you. First, serious debate in a classroom or school project where you have to defend an idea. The constructive disagreement and validation from your peers and teachers taught you what you value and how to articulate it, defining your intellectual identity. Education and peers. The third, media and society. Consider the heroes and villains presented in popular books or movies during your formative years. The unconsciously adopt aspirations and moral standard based on these external narratives, shaping our ideal self and understanding of societal roles. We might have seen some children, our children, take a pen and acting just like a doctor. He is prescribing medicines and he himself, I'm the doctor, by only seeing some doctor characters from movies or some serials, or some may be seen from the doctors where he get medicines for his illness. So medias and society gives this type of development. Then sensational experiences, the feeling of mastering a difficult physical skills like learning to ride a bicycle or tie a complex knot. The sensory feedback of achievement and competence directly translate into the internal belief, I am capable, which fundamentally shift self-perception. If we give something to test, then he does just like this. If we give this much and he take and just twist, it is completed. So he celebrate his achievement. If we give a thumbs up for this reason, then he learns that I am capable. The foundational base of mental health. I am capable. I am capable to do something better. The first base of mental health. And then caregivers influence touch and relationship. We all know the first caregiver, mother. Mother's touch. Mother's touch gives us everything we need to cope with all the life challenges throughout our lives. Throughout our lives. If caregivers, the mother's touch is comfortable, influential, confident, affectionate, then we will get everything. Physical comfort. When cry, immediately attend mother, gives physical comfort, emotional security, breastfeeding. When mothers breastfeed, if we closely observe the movement, physical hand movement of that infant, we can see that he always touch the other breast. The one breast he is sucking, the other is there. Then he through touch, the relationship bond becomes strengthened. The other breast is there, mom is there, so I am safe. Emotional security, stress reduction, bonding attachment, brain development, caregivers touch. Then exemplary relationship, mother's touch, secure base, trust empathy, communication, learning social cues, emotional regulation. He get immediately through the touch, caressing, caring, cracking, cradling, moving, kissing, hugging, caressing from the caregivers. He get all the foundational skills to manage all his life challenges, coping skills, the foundation of mental health. Then mental health and wellness, self-esteem develops, resilience develops. When we leave children to explore the nature, he makes sound, he run there, here, hanging about, and at the now and then he look back to parents and ensure that parents is there, so I am safe. It gives resilience, cognitive growth. Relationships is the base. Caregivers at home. The second negative effect. If caregivers is giving unemotional touch, unaffectionate touch, conditional love, then it gives lack of positive touch, physical comfort get, but everything negative, damaging for early childhood development. Harsh relationship, no secure, no mistrust, fear, lack empathy, communication, learning social cues, not developed. Emotional dysregulation happens, compromised mental health, low self-esteem, no resilience, behavior challenges comes, social difficulties comes. If the caregivers have a negative effect, damaged fatal influence, damaging the early development of children, how they don't have the courage to look into others' eyes. I have seen many children fear to look into others' eyes, especially moms and fathers. Why it happens? I learned this is because the early childhood experience, battered childhood. I call it battered childhood, negative effect from caregivers. Family, the primary blueprint, founding relationship agent of mental health. Primary relationship agent of mental health. Founding. The first agent of socialization is family. Primary learning happens in family. Norms, values learned from family. Language learned from family. Language and culture learned from family. Identity, self-concept from family. Roles and beliefs, family. Emotional security, family. Mental health, mental blueprint. We are focusing on mental health, mental blueprint. It is from starting from family, the primary blueprint of mental health, the miniature society or the world. Family is the miniature society, miniature world. Attachment styles, parental, resilience, coping skills, relationship patterns, etc. The undeniable foundational relationship is family. First, the second one, strong pillars for mental health and well-being. Friends and fears, the testing ground. What an infant, a child, before step into the society, the school, where he get friends and peers. Everything he learned, he test with friends, with the peers, through the relationship. Friendship is a relationship. He tests what he has learned from family, seeking independence and mental well-being. The crucial during adolescence. First, outside family, friends. Explore independence through friends. Develop social skills with friends. Experiment with roles he has learned from parents. So friendship outside the home, it is a testing ground where mental health and well-being is developing. Identity foundation, shared experiences got from family, mutual understanding got from family, especially mom and parents, siblings, grandparents, from values and beliefs. Mental well-being pillars, support network, belonging, acceptance, self-esteem boost, emotional security, and relationship. Or he has learned from family, he tests outside the family, it is friends with friends. First family, outside the family, friends, peers. Then he may be introduced to the community, the cultural context, fostering mental health through networking and the relationship. Neighborhood, we go there, be a part of party, functions, family functions, community functions, we go there. Neighborhood schools, religious organizations. At the end, the glorified nationality. The foundation is from the first relationship, family, then friends, then community, bigger and bigger and bigger. All through this, to perform productively, to perform well, apt, we need to have coping skills. It shows we have mental health. So mental health actually is based on three things. Realize the abilities, know what is my abilities. Then how to manage successfully the life's challenges. The third, what to give back to the society, the ability, that is mental health from relationship. Social fabrics, shared values, collective identity, social support, sense of belonging, mental health pillars, resilience, coping skills, community resources, reduced isolation, purpose and meaning. All through we get from relationships. How belonging and being understood boost mental health. A core human motivation. Sense of security. Just to take the first example. Waiting stressfully in a railway station, alone, feeling alone. He get a message. We are missing you. Or you entrained the train, entrained. How you feel? How are you? Somebody calling. Partner is calling. Parents are calling. We get belonging, understood. It boosts mental health. It gives a sense of security, reduced stress and anxiety, emotional safe, stable environment, foundation for exploration. So get into the train, exploration in the sense, if somebody sit by my side, I just ask him, put a smile and ask, how are you, sir? The confidence and courage he get from simple message from parents. Then self-worth and esteem, validation of identity. You are so and so, you are capable. Feeling valued and accepted. Friends already told me that I have some skills. I am something in something. Self-worth, increased confidence, positive self-regard. If we do say you are okay, you are awesome to some of our friends, when he does something well, he get confident. This confidence push him to repeat the same in another situation. That you know, self-worth. He already realized his abilities. Then he get the coping skills to challenge, to manage his life challenges in the future. Then he give back to his society something good. So the relationship always gives some shared goals, values, and contribution. So belonging and understanding always gives us positive mental health. Physiological, brain nutrients, hormonal effect on brain. How the relationship connection impact the oxytocin, the happy hormone from connection. Oxytocin release, reduce stress hormone. Oxytocin reduces stress, reduces cortisol, boost mood and well-being, foster trust and bonding, promotes calm and security, linked to longevity. If he gives a touch, grabs her, the emergency cuddle protocol. My friend, high when she hits a wall of stress, usually over a binary email type of her husband, or means if somebody gets some stress, if we are there, we just pat, touch, don't worry, he become fine. How? This oxytocin releases with touch, friendly touch, through relationship, the oxytocin hit, cuddle hormone. The brain releases oxytocin and cortisol decreases its effect. When connection is not there, then cortisol spike, stress hormone from isolation increases. Nobody is there, I am alone. Reduce mood and well-being, impairs trust and bonding. Nobody is there. Nobody is there to love me. So ask begging for, please listen me. So cry means please listen me. If somebody immediately responds, crying stops. I am valued. I am noticed. Feeling less stress. Oxytocin hit through relationship. Cortisol spike through loneliness. Cognitive and social effect on the brain. We all know mirror neurons. Mirror neurons means when we see something very interesting, we act like that. If we are watching football match and our favorite player is performing well, we get excited. If we shoot with our leg to somebody, my friend's face, friend's body touches. We are screaming with excitement. Mirror neurons copies the emotions, actions when we are happy. Mirror neurons, empathy boost from connections, fosters improve social skills, enhances learning, build a connection and trust, boost cognitive flexibility. That is from meaningful relationships. If relationship is not good, or they are always criticizing, they are always nagging, then we get cortisol spike. Social anxiety comes. What would they say? So I am alone. All are criticizing me. Nobody is there by my side. So social confidence reduced. Avoidance of interaction comes. Misinterpretation of cues, strained relationship, impaired cognitive function. We always see everything is against me. Everyone is against me. So I need to fly from this place. Mental health goes. The accountability part of the impact of mental well-being and behavior. Quality of relationships, a powerful determinant of mental health well-being. Positive relationship always enhances self-esteem, increased resilience, greater happiness and fulfillment. You just think, if A, imagine A wanted to run a marathon but hated training alone. A wanted to run a marathon and he want to be trained. He want to get training, but he hated training alone. He joined a local running club and he confided that on cold mornings he doesn't think I have to run. So I have to laziness. So what he runs, I think one of his friend is also joined there and running. So he feels that. So I can't let down. I can't let down him. He thinks and he brings the confidence back to let him down. The relationship, connections, accountability comes. Impact of mental well-being and behavior through relationship. He is there, a competition comes. Positive relationship, negative relationship, the same thing. If nobody is there, then laziness. Nobody is there to combat. So laziness. I have seen some cases like this. If we just somebody is there, you work. He is working, you work. He is there, he is friend. Then they become friends and they become combat to each other. Who will win? That relationship also boost their mental health to perform well. The accountability partner, the bad behavior enabler. We said bad behavior enabler. Quality over quantity. The key to mental health and behavior. Increase the risk. Again, we all have relationship, positive and negative. Virtuous circle is there. Positive, connected mental health. Positive social connections, predictor of well-being and longevity. Unconscious need of solution. So connections always help us to solve our internal problems also. Stress and emotional buffering. If we have stress, emotional problems, if we have connections, meaningful network, it will help us to reduce stress. It will support, get emotional support. We become strong emotionally. We get learned how to cope with challenges. Our resilience becomes strong. The sense of belonging and purpose, validation and acceptance from friends, family members, colleagues, teachers, even from children, if parents get a support, meaningful connection, simple act of high five, create sense of belonging. It boosts our mental health. Positive behavioral influences, healthy habit, mutual encouragement, pro-social behavior, helping behavior, personal growth. It all get through a simple act of high five, thumbs up, you are good, simple word from meaningful connections, maybe from parents, colleagues, teachers, boss, subordinates, even from strangers. Get a notion with a smile. These connections, these relationships, we become happy and it helps us to solve our soul. The internal negative dialogues become healed only through these connections. Poor mental health. Poor mental health is the result of disconnections. We call it as vicious circle. Disorders in social connections leading to isolation, withdrawal and social avoidance, social isolation. If we see four people see a dog, four people see a dog. The first one, the moment he see the dog, fly away, flight. The second one, fight, take a stick and ready to beat the dog, or take a stone and throw it to the dog, fight. The third one, freeze down, faint down, extreme fear, confused brain shutdowns, freeze down. The fourth one, mentally healthy things, go dogs, he goes its way, and I am on my way. Coping skills, how to manage, four types, through connections, through previous learning. If a friend is there, when he before he thinks to fly, run away, friends with friends, don't think, friends, I have fear of dog. Don't worry, I am with you. You come. His fear goes. These three negative, fly away, fight, and freeze. If a meaningful relationship, one guy is there standing by his side and said, don't worry, I am with you. He become mentally strong, skilled enough to manage the presence of dog, the fearful things. He will be able to manage it. If nobody is there, poor mental health, fly away, faint out, fight. This is the case, always happen throughout the life. The first meaningful relationship, parents, then siblings, then family members, from testing ground, friends, peers, then community. So how a meaningful relationship shapes our mental health, shapes our behavioral pattern, shapes our life, the coping skills to manage our life's challenges. Very imperative. Communication and relationship strain through vicious circle, disconnections. We always say depression, depression, depression. But the depressed people have one connection, meaningful connection, affectionate one, partner, friend, sibling, colleagues. He comes out from depression with or without medicine. It will boost his recovery. It will fasten his recovery. If somebody is crying, we go there, we touch us. He get relief. Why? Touching, relationship. the picture. A tree is yielding gold. If the tree yielding gold leaning the roof should be cut down. That means we have friends, we have colleagues, we have relatives. They are literally yielding gold, but gives us some strain, gives us some stress. Cut it. Otherwise, it leads us to have a poor mental health. It would lead to a life with miseries, worries, tensions, anxiety, depression, everything. So connection is very, very, very detrimental, if not meaningful. In sociological behavioral impact, mutual support and encouragement, positive behavioral regulation happens. Healthy habit formation happens. We achieve our goals, reduced risky behavior, increased self-control, only with positive connections, the accountability relationships. And if it is negative, we don't have the oversight, foreseeing ability goes away. Reinforcement of bad habit happens. Just to see addictions, mobile addictions. If he has a good friend, mentally healthy friend, he gives some tips, or he initiate to engage in a positive play or positive discussions or group study. Automatically, his addiction, phone addiction, goes away. Play, go to gym together with a friend, having mentally healthy. Then the addicted person likes his company, left from his bad habit of addictions. So in my clinics, if somebody comes, I discuss with him and I make someone he likes as his friend, maybe mentally healthy. Then he lose interest in mobile addiction. Then he creates, he increases the habit of go with him to gym or sporting items. 3 weeks, 4 weeks, he become de-addicted simply because of having a good relationship. Maybe friend, maybe father, or I ask some parents to play with your kids. Screaming, don't do homeworks, always angry. So I simply said, you go with him, play with him, you learn some play from your children, you tickle him, you create connection first, then correction automatically happens. So how to make connection? That is a relationship meaningful. So when you have a connection with your loved ones, correction automatically happens. He likes, you likes. Then when you like somebody, you always ensure when you do something, the loved one likes. If he do something, if he is going to do something, he always ensure that my partner would like. Then becomes comfortable, mentally healthy, no bad habits. A relationship is a magic healing, magic force to heal every bad behavior immediately. So I am going to wind up my session. The relationship between mental health and connection with people is fundamentally dynamic and bi-directional, two-way, creating a vicious or virtuous cycle. Strong social bonds act as a powerful protective factor against mental illness, while poor mental health can actively undermine person's ability to maintain those very connections. When I talk to parents, I always give them, you become, you focus on how to connect with your what's children. You make time connect with your children, with your friends, with your family members, or with your family, with your office staff, with your subordinates, and look into their eyes, put a smile, and you think, when I see you, I feel happy, as if I am seeing you for the first time. That creates likes, that creates a foundation to have a good mental health. It helped him to get the skill to cope the life challenges. He became happy. When happy, we learn something. Learning help us to manage stress. Learning help us to manage life challenges. Learning help us to grow. Learning help us to think clearly. Learning help us to dream something big. Learning help us to give something to others with happy. So only through connections you can correct. Only through connections you can correct yourself, you can correct your friends, you can correct your family members, you can correct people that is maybe interacting with you. So the relationship between mental health and connection with people is fundamentally dynamic and bi-directional. So I request you to have meaningful connections with your friends, with your relatives, with your family members, with your spouse, with your colleagues, and especially with your children. The very foundation to be a mentally healthy adult, a mentally healthy society, meaningful relationship. So thank you for listening me. Thank you. Thank you. Over to.
Thank you so much, sir, for such a wonderful and interactive and insightful session. And today's we also see lot of issues in relationships at various level, and you explained very well about how the problems causes and what the parents should keep in their mind while upbringing their children. So it was truly an inspirational session for everyone. So before winding up this session, I have a question from my side. Uh, Nowadays, we see various issues, especially in relationships, at various levels, meet at having level of children's, level of couples, and old age also. So, what will be your advice to the mental health professionals who are working in the field of mental health, whether they are psychologists, clinical psychologists, or the counselors? So, what will be your suggestion or advice to the mental health professionals to how they should see these issues of relationships?
I have to say only one sentence, especially for the mental health professionals. Be a good listener and a motivation to speak more. Motivation to speak more. When the client sitting in front of me, when he see my face, he needs to be revealed everything. That may be the sitting posture gives a strong relationship itself. If we sit with a smiling face, a receiving face, then he get rapport in our psychological way, but it is really a positive relationship to listen. Then he smile at us and speak everything. If we want to ask anything, he may reveal. Then we can correct. You do this, you do this, you do this. Or he may start to say, sir, can I do this? Sir, is it okay to do this? Sir, is it okay to say this? Simply. I always ask if parents come to their children's issue, I always ask them, you look into your children's eyes first, with a wonderment in your eyes, smile on your face. That itself say, when I see you, I feel happy. I want to listen. This message, this posture itself start healing children's problem. The same thing happens to spouses. Look into eyes. Prolonged gaze leads to love, leads to liking. When liking and love starts, problem solves. Simple that I have seen my clinic. If they comes fighting, so after some discussions, I just give them, you just look into your eyes, each other, don't touch, don't talk, then try to communicate. You take 7 minutes. I use only 7 minutes, and I goes out. I always go out, close the door, and I tell them after 7 minutes I will come back. Then I will enter the room only tapping the door. So usually when I see inside, maybe crying, maybe hugging, but they came fighting. But in majority cases, I have seen crying. Some cases hugging. In rarely I have seen laughing each other, cracking jokes. And I have seen once I have seen when I enter, they quickly stood up and said, "Sir, our problem solved. So shall we go?" I said yes. Only with looking, without uttering any words, without touching. They knew that they have learned that they can communicate only with looks. So strong relationship always gives solution. I consciously put that word solution. Solution to solve. Okay, thank you. Nice question.
Thank you so much. And it is truly a great piece of advice. And I think every mental health professional should try to follow at how much level they can, and they will truly get benefited. They will truly get a positive result which is needed and essential and good both for the client and the professional. So once again, thank you.
Yeah,
Yes, yes.
yeah. My professor is Dr. Vedagiri Ganeshan. I think you all may know him. A retired professor from Bharat University and he's the director of Global Institute of Behavior Management in Coimbatore. And I've been a student to him for the last 15 years, and always discuss with him. I always go there, stay with him. He is a man. What shall I say? He's a such a great man. Always have some tricky and bizarre solution to every behavioral issues. So I am a student to him. He is the torchlight,
Yes.
cornucopia of knowledge, I think.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you,
It's truly.
Professor Vedagiri Ganesh.
Yes. So
Okay.
thank you so much, sir, once again. And before winding up this live session, what will be your conclude message to all the world and the humanity through this session? What will be your conclude message?
Nice to everyone. Always interact with a smile. That's enough. Smile is a gift. Smile itself is a gift. When you smile somebody, some problems may be solved. So whenever you interact with somebody, try to have a smile on your face. That is my